Hi, Chelsea again. I wanted to add something to my last video, but I didn't know how to do that, so I'm just doing a addendum. And realized my glasses kept distracting me with my thoughts, and I wanted to just say that if you are in that spot in life that you're just going, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, and you're like really having to like hang on to something, which kind of happens. This is a birthing process, and the analogy has been made in other videos that or with our friends about the birthing process, the contractions, this is and I even though I have to give big shout outs to Owen Benjamin and Marty Leeds and James True and David the Good and Cody over at Wrangler Star. I mean, Lavette, she's more new for me, but oh my gosh, she is amazing. How she just breaks things down. And I did my own chart, and oh my gosh, I wasn't what I thought I was, but nonetheless, reach out, but also know that even though I felt frustrated that I had absolutely no one I could talk to, I felt so freaking alone. And I'm going through a breakup with my live-in boyfriend that's not living anymore. I had to move out because it was his place. But, he's breaking up with me in the middle of a pandemic. And I'm thinking, I got mad for like half a second and was like, nope, this is part of the plan. And I just kind of accepted it. I got papers out because maybe I can learn how to edit. Anyways, so this is the middle of April and everybody's on lockdown, and my work is like I got a job that great place, great people. They're in Grass Valley, but they're like, okay, we're gonna open back up. Everybody's got to wear a mask, and I'm just like, oh, it's just like, no, I can't do it. And my manager, he's like, well, why not? And I'm like, I can't, I can't condone and play along with something that is so ridiculous, and it's such a lie. And and I didn't even realize how much, but I did it because I was like encouraged by the bears. I was encouraged by my online community to be like, you know what, I know this for myself. I'm starting to feel stronger in my own truths, and I'm like, I got to make a stand. I got to draw a line. And every opportunity, I should say, actually not opportunity, because every situation that's uncomfortable is the opportunity. It's the opportunity to be uncomfortable and step out of what you normally would be like, oh, okay, no, it's fine. Oh, no. If it's not fine, gosh dang it, say it's not fine. If you don't like something, then don't placate. We've been placating to everybody and ourselves for too long. This is what's gotten us into such a mire that makes the breaking free part beautiful. So it's probably a part of the plan too. What else did I want to touch on real quick before I said goodbye? Just make sure you don't get into the blame game when you're like, these truths are coming, realizing to you, and you're like, oh my God, they lied about that. Oh my God, they lied about that. Oh my God, they lied about everything. And it's like, how could they do that. You got to let that go. You just got to be like, you know what? That was a part of the overall plan, is for the lives to be so ridiculous and get so far out of hand that we're like, we're out, right? We're just like, oh my gosh, you see it and you're just like, oh, wow, that's what they meant by the stage. The world's a stage. Yes, everything's a stage. What's the real thing is, like, what Owen will, really impress upon those who are new to watching him, is how important family is. How important it is to be with your family, to provide for your family, to grow your own food, to raise your own chickens and beef. And I come from a long line of pioneers. I have my great grandparents, and them before them were all, pioneers across the continental divide before there was, in wagons. So anyways, I think that's about what I wanted to say, and just kind of add on, since this is my first time of putting myself out there. I wanted to say, one thing that I started practicing years ago was, and I'm not doing it with the phone for some reason, because this is you, basically. Okay. Oh, maybe I should do that. Is I try to connect with people right into their eyes and really see them. And sometimes this would get mixed signals, but it's okay. You can weed through that, because the more important thing is that you are strengthening an antenna, a connector. And I've done this for years, but I never really did it with myself. And during the last several weeks of, I'd go outside, get naked, lay in the dirt, because I'm up in the woods, lay in the dirt, and I would just be like grounding. And, I'd head off down the trail and just really look at all the amazing colors of the lush Sierra Mountains. I mean, Grass Valley, California, Northern Sierras are just gorgeous. And we're, anyways, moving. Because, I've put into motion about bringing my family together, which Owen was the inspirator for that months ago. And I was just like, how can I get my family closer together in proximity? And, and my son and daughter-in-law, they're both Marines, and they are down at Camp Pendleton. And I talked with them about, where are you guys thinking of going after you're done with your sentence? And they're headed to Tennessee. And I'm so thrilled with my daughter-in-law. She's a beautiful spirit. My son, she adores him, and I'm hoping he's adoring her. I don't know, because he's a man, young man, just turned 21. We're talking last week, and I know the distancing from mom is part of his birthing into becoming his own man. So I'm trying to respect that. But so my dad and my sister, her kids and her grandkids, they're all over there in Northwest Arkansas, because everybody got a bright idea back in the early 90s that they were going to head to the country. So rather than go to Eastern Washington, they head off to the Midwest. They moved to the Midwest. Anyways, it is beautiful, and I love it, and I always love going there. And so I've got my mom and my stepdad here in Northern California, and they were going to be heading up to Idaho, and I have family in Idaho, in Boise and Twin Falls. My grandfather just passed away. He was in Coeur d'Alene, and it was one of those things where I was just like, you know what? I think we need to be in Arkansas. We need to be, I need to be able to be able to take care of my father and my stepmother and my mom and stepdad. They're all getting older, and I happen to be in a position that, I'm like, let's, commune up, and we're not doing that, but I mean, that is kind of how I would like prefer it. I was looking at properties that were like, 200 acres, 500 acres, were cheap, and I'm thinking, wow, that could be such like the freedom farm, no, like the compassion land. Well, compassion campground. Because I want to have my own campground. That's been something I've talked about for several years now. So I'm doing it. And I just was like, you know what, just decide to do it and do it. And so I just decided that is what I'm going to do. And then everything started falling into place. And their house here in Stockton got in a contract. They went to Arkansas. They're now on contract in a house that's in the Hot Springs area. And Hot Springs is where I wanted to be at because I just felt such a spiritual connection to the Ouachita, I think you say Ouachita Mountains. It's just gorgeous. But I think I got to rambling, and it was mainly to just shout out some people that have really helped me in my search and finding stabilizers throughout this amazing apocalypse, and to just go within, get to that quiet spot, and you might find a lot of things that you remember from the past. Like I started remembering things like when I was like 21 or 22 is when I was first, I read the Celestine Prophecy, and then that totally took me down a different rabbit hole with how much interconnectedness that there is throughout this world that we have with each other, and different things that I had learned through that. And I went into alternative health, and I learned a lot of Eastern medicine applications. We touched on craniosacral CSF rhythms today on James True's stream, and how to balance, and Reiki and Qigong and Shiatsu, the acupressure massage techniques, and then I got into all that understanding of the Eastern medicine. The amazing thing about the Japanese people, that I was fortunate to be in Japan. I was building American style homes as a pickup person. I was picking up on job site, and then got into doing some I guess you'd put it into the finished carpenter category, which started off my carpentry and construction career, which has been the last 25 years. That's what I've been mainly doing, is I've been a designer and construction project manager, like general contractor. Anyways, I lost my track. Um, well, let's see how I could